Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to start and scale a thriving virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 190. Can you skip straight to agency owner?
Yeah, before we get into the nitty-gritty, Joe, I think we need to make it clear what we mean by agency owner. So if you're new here, you may not know exactly what agency owner means. So in very basic terms, if you are a VA agency owner, you have client-facing team members.
Beautifully put. Thank
you.
And we are talking to the aspiring virtual assistants. It's you if you are thinking about getting started as a virtual assistant. Maybe you've done the free quiz, What's My VA Pathway? And you might have got agency owner as your pathway. So now what?
Which is, hey, congratulations if that is you. If you've taken the quiz, your result is agency owner. This is really, really exciting. It's a great pathway to be on. I mean, this is your pathway. It's not my pathway, but I can appreciate the fact that it's an exciting pathway for those that get it. Now, the whole skipping a step, this kind of came to us very late, I guess, in our careers. Like, this wasn't an option on our radar for how many years? I don't know. Many years.
Yeah, well, I've been doing this for 12. So, well, for 12 years, this hadn't occurred to me that this would be an option.
Yeah. And because when we're talking about skipping straight to agency owner, what we're meaning is you are skipping that freelancer stage. So you're setting up your virtual assistant business, and instead of then onboarding clients, then you doing the client work, you're onboarding the clients and you've got team members that are then going to do the client work. So you're basically skipping that freelancer stage in the scaling process.
Yeah, you sure are. And we realized that this is actually a really viable option for a certain type of person with some certain skills and goals. And when we had one of our launches come through, launch in 30 days, she had said that she had been having some conversations on discovery calls, and these leads were really excited. They loved her. They wanted to start working with her, and they were wanting things that were outside of her skill set. So what we realized is that she was really great at sales. She was an extroverted person who loved talking to people and could sell anything. And we actually suggested to her, why don't you take on that role? You be the CEO, do all the sales and marketing, and you have team members that do the work. And then you can have a broad range of services if you wanted to.
And you could hear a pin drop when that suggestion was put forward. A, because no one had ever heard us talk about this option before, because it hadn't even occurred to us until this particular conversation. But also, B, there was a little bit of uncertainty around it from her point of view, because all we have ever seen is doing this a different way. Like, we don't know anyone that has gone straight to agency owner that hasn't done any client work before. So there was this feeling for her that, would she be cheating? Is skipping the step cheating?
Yeah. She felt like it wasn't allowed. Like, no one would allow her to do that. It would be cheating.
The VA police. Who is the VA police? Is it us?
I don't know. Is it us? Are you going to go knocking on her door and be like, no, you have to do the client work first.
You've breached violation 123 from the VA handbook.
So interesting that she had that thought of like skipping this step was actually cheating, but we don't think it is.
No.
Now, there are some people that this is going to suit. There's some things that you really need to think about because there's absolutely some things that can go wrong. So let's go on a deep dive. Like if this is you and you're like, yeah, I think this could be an option for me, let's go on a deep dive so you're fully aware of the pitfalls and the potential rewards from this and see if it's something that you want to endeavor.
Well, let's start off with the traits, skills, all that jazz that is going to make this particular pathway a really good one for you. And you can't go past, we've mentioned it right at the beginning. If you've taken our quiz and your result is very clearly agency owner. Green flag.
Yeah. Yep. If you've been through launch in 30 days and you've set up all of the business fundamentals, everything is in place, and you know that your strengths have really been in the relationship building, the discovery calls, talking to people, you love all the marketing and getting those leads in, like if that's your strength and you've got those fundamentals ready to go, this could be a great option for you.
Yeah, if like this really resonated for me when we were putting together this list, that like relationship building is definitely one of my superpowers and I really, really enjoy it. And the more I step away from client work, like the longer I've been in the business, the more I've realized that I actually love the relationship building. I don't necessarily love networking, but I love relationship building and I can talk to pretty much anybody, but I also get really bored as well. So this would be perfect for me if I wanted to go down that route because I could do all the bits that I love. I could talk to anybody. I can be friends with anybody. If you're passionate about it, then there's no sales, right? If you're passionate about something, you don't have to sell it. It just comes through. But I then don't have to be bored or feel bogged down with the actual day-to-day of serving somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. And the follow through that's required of that, like taking things all the way through step by step in a process, delivering projects all the way to the end, delivering your service plans, monitoring that budget and delivering the service, completing all those tasks. Like, would it be fair to say that that wouldn't be your strength or what would light you up?
The actual doing of the tasks?
Yeah.
Right now, yes, absolutely. That wasn't me a few years ago, but yes, me now at 45, where I've spent the majority of my professional life serving people. Like, I'm not ready to retire, but I think I'm almost ready to retire from that side of things. But I still want to make people happy. So I still want to be able to provide value in some way. So this way, I'd be doing that without actually doing the day-to-day tasks, ticking them off their list for them. Yeah.
So if that's really resonating with you, like you're thinking, oh, that's the kind of things that I'm really good at and love, and that's the things that I don't really like. But I like this industry and I like the idea of like really helping people and serving people, but not in the day-to-day. Could be an option.
If you like picking up the phone, if you like talking to people on the phone, if you can have those difficult conversations, you don't shy away from them because you are going to have difficult conversations going down the agency route, whether you're skipping a step or not. There is no escaping. There's no escaping courageous conversations.
No, because you're going to be having with team members and with clients. Like that is going to be part of your role for sure. But also great if you have had some kind of leadership role, team lead role, or you've had some experience of delegating things to other people. You've managed some team members, even in a team leader role where you're kind of overseeing things, managing things. That could be some great experience to bring into this type of business model because your role is really going to need to pull on those skills and that experience that you've had, or you're going to have to learn real fast because that's where the wheels can start to come off if you don't have this part of your role under control.
Yeah, I feel like if you would consider yourself having high levels of emotional intelligence, I think you're very suited to this pathway for sure.
Mm.
Being able to understand people,
Yeah.
their personalities, how their minds work, a little bit of psychology in there, right? It
Yeah.
all
Oh,
adds up to being a great leader.
yeah, absolutely. The other thing you would need to have is a network of people in business that you know. Like, you'll need to have some ways and means of bringing in new clients, and having a big network of people in business would be a big brain tick.
The bigger the better. The bigger the better. Yeah, if you've been in the corporate environment for 10, 20 years in various different roles, and you may not even realize until you sit down and kind of start looking at who's in that network as to how big it actually is. But, the more jobs you've had, the more people that you've worked with, right? The
Mm.
more events you go to, the more people that you've met. The bigger
Yeah.
your network, the better for sure.
It could also be someone who's like worked in trades all their life, and you know all of the different trades because you've
Mhm.
had to deal with them and different suppliers and all that kind of stuff in a
Yeah,
previous role. That would be a great big network of people that you could
yeah.
use in business.
Yeah, your family, your husband, partner, your parents may have run their own businesses, and through that, a lot of people. Or even if you've just got a lot of friends and family, like some people have massive families and they're very, very social, right?
Yeah. Now, we're not saying that all of your family members should be your clients, but what we're saying is that they know
Yeah.
people in business, and so your network is big.
Yeah.
Just to make that clear.
So those are all of the things that we think make up like a really good VA business owner skipping straight to agency. Let's talk about the type of business owners, VA business owners, that this isn't best suited to, because it's not for everyone. This is not an easy pathway. In fact, none of the pathways are easy.
No.
Stop messaging me asking me which is the easiest pathway. Please. There is
Yeah.
no such thing.
No. I think that this would not be suited to you if what you are wanting is the cruisy option, the one where, like Sam says, it's easy, it's simple, it's like way less work for you. You're not going to have to do much because other people are doing the work. Like, if that's your mindset, oh, I like this idea because everyone else is going to be doing the work and I won't be doing the work.
Yeah, I'm going to be clipping the ticket, so to speak, and I can just sit back and relax and let the money roll in. And my team members are the ones actually doing the work. There's still
Red
work to be
flag.
done. Yeah, there is still work to be done.
Yes.
There's a lot
As
to running a business, any type of business.
Yeah, as the agency owner, there's a whole CEO role that we're going to get into later in this episode, where like you're going to realize that there's actually a big role outside of just the client work
Yeah, yeah. Following
inside a
on,
VA business.
yeah, following on from that kind of easy breezy route, I think if you think that financially you were going to do very well quicker this way,
Yeah,
it's not suited to you.
no. This is not the fast way to get money. So if you're thinking that, this is a pathway that you're skipping straight to it. It's going to take longer to build up your kind of salary that you would be paying yourself. Because it's different when you're doing the work, you're billing the entire hour worth of work to yourself or to the business, but like that could be part of your salary. Whereas
Mm.
if other people are doing the work, it's just the margin that would be coming into the business as a profit.
And you've got to remember, when you are in this type of role, your team members, they get paid first. They are your priority. They are the ones doing the work for the clients. You can't pay yourself before you pay them.
Yeah.
What's next? I think there's a couple of more things on that list.
If you think that no one else can do a job as good as you, and whatever it is that you have skills and experience in, oof, that would be a red flag. That would be a red flag. How are you going to
Yeah.
then trust the team members to get on with it and not micromanage them?
Yeah. If you're the type of person that finds it really hard to delegate, finds it really hard to let something go, give your baby up to somebody else, if you think that you are irreplaceable, no one can do it as good as you because you are bloody awesome. No, sorry. There is somebody that can do it as good as or better than you. You just got to give them the opportunity.
Yeah. Now, this pathway, skipping straight to agency owner, would not be right for you if you have not embraced fully the CEO mindset. Because there's no way that you can bring your employee mindset into an agency and start straight away as an agency owner with that mindset. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, you're a business owner. You cannot shy away from it. You are a fully fledged badge wearing
Are you going to hand out badges now?
Yeah, why not?
You have a police badge.
Yeah, this is it. The buck is going to stop with you. So if that scares you shitless, probably not suited for you.
Yeah. Let's talk about some things that can go wrong if you skip straight to agency owner right off the bat.
Yeah, notice how we're starting with where things go wrong, because if you know us, you know that it's real talk time, right? We never want to sugarcoat anything for anyone listening. It's really important that you know exactly what you're getting into, especially with this route.
Yeah. I think like it can go really wrong if you come in assuming that this is like a set and forget business model where you set it up, your team members do the work and you just step away. And it is, it's this passive money making machine, like amazing, don't have to do anything anymore.
Yeah, if you go into it with that mindset, where it goes wrong is the clients end up unhappy a lot of the time with the service that they're getting, or they feel like they're forgotten by you. You've brought them on and then you've gone, bye, see you later, good luck.
Yeah, same with the team members. It's not a set and forget team member that you bring on. Like you have to actually look after that team member and nurture them, have them feel part of the team.
Yeah, so client and team retention, that is going to suffer. That is definitely going to suffer.
Yep.
Thinking. It can go wrong when you think or you hope that this is that easy route, that your team member is doing all the work. You don't do any work, that you can just sit back and it's just going to, look after itself? Like, what happens if you sit back too much and just let it get on with it?
Yeah. And assuming that it's going to be like money's just going to come straight in straight away, you can start paying yourself straight away. Like it can really go wrong if you're thinking that like financially you're going to be able to pay yourself straight away. That's not going to be possible because there's going to be a lot of setup in getting that ready. So you're going to need to have that financial buffer there, and you're going to have some time available to be able to get this thing up and running, because it's going to go really wrong if you have these expectations that you're just going to start paying yourself from day one. Yeah. That's not going to be the case at all.
It's also going to go wrong if you are recruiting in a hurry, recruiting in this desperate mode, recruiting without actually understanding the fundamentals of recruiting, like the type of person you actually need on your team. Because once you start recruiting wrong, if you're in this place of desperation or quick or anyone will do, You're going to end up with unhappy clients. You're going to potentially end up with unhappy team members again because they're just not the right fit for what it is you're expecting from them. The clients might not be happy because the person you're recruiting maybe isn't up to scratch. They are not actually able to do what they've said that they can do in that interview.
Yeah. I would say that if you are wanting to skip straight to agency owner, you would need to have some experience at least in that first service that you're offering. Because how are you going to know if you have recruited a person who is up to speed, up to scratch? And how are you going to monitor that if they're actually doing a good job or not? So should we make that call? Like, you need to have some experience in at least the first service.
You have to. You have
Otherwise,
to.
it's going to go wrong.
Yeah, how can you sell something that you've got no understanding of? How can you talk about it? If you can't put yourself in your team members' shoes, you are not going to understand any of the potential issues that come up between your clients and your team members because you just don't understand it. Now, we're not saying that you have to have experience in every single service that you ever offer to clients.
No.
Because that's just ridiculous, right?
Yeah, you can absolutely hire people in your team that can offer a service that you don't have any experience in. Absolutely. As long as you understand kind of the fundamentals or the kind of strategy of it, you can sell that in discovery calls. That would absolutely be enough. But when you're first starting, like, yeah, that's for down the track.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about the fundamentals. It can definitely go wrong. The wheels are going to fall off if you don't have those fundamentals in place, those business fundamentals.
Yeah. One of them is the thing that we teach, invoicing in advance. You're going to have some serious cash flow problems if you are not invoicing in advance and if you are not providing service plans and packages to clients. If you're just letting clients do hourly, casual, ad hoc stuff, things are going to go wrong very quickly.
Yeah, you have to get your pricing right. We mentioned earlier on about your team members are getting paid first. So if you want to have any financial reward from this, you need to be making a profit 100%. If you get your pricing wrong, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt more than a freelancer who's got their pricing wrong.
Yes. Yeah, you don't have enough of margin and you don't have an understanding of what the true cost of your team member is to you. No profit left over. And guess what? You've got to pay your team member. It's you who's going to not get paid because you've got the pricing wrong. All right, and the last one. It's going to go wrong if you do not look after your team members well.
Yeah.
What's going to happen if they leave? They up and leave. They're like, nope, this is too hard. I don't like working here. This is not good. You've got a client that you need to deliver a service to. What, are you going to step in and do that? Are you going to have the headspace, the time, or the skills to do that?
Yeah, even if potentially you do have the skills and capabilities to step in until you recruit again, is this why you've taken this pathway in the first place? If you were going in business because you don't want to do the client work and you're not looking after your team members, so they are leaving all the time, you've got a high rollover, you're going to find yourself having to step in time and time again, which is the complete opposite to skipping straight to agency owner.
Yeah. Your team members need to be your priority, even over your clients. Your team members are going to be number one.
Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's get positive. Let's talk about...
This is exciting, this pathway. Like, I think this is super cool for someone to do.
If we haven't put you off yet, keep on listening, because now we want to go through the benefits of skipping straight to business owner, because there are some amazing benefits doing this for the right person.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the things that we see is those who take the freelancer to agency owner pathway often get into this overwhelm state because they are juggling client work and they are at capacity with client work. They're also trying to run the business and to scale, and making that transition is actually quite difficult. It can be an overwhelming time. And when you skip straight to agency owner, you don't need to be juggling the client work at the same time as you're scaling. So I think that this would set you up to have a lot less overwhelm than someone wanting to go freelancer to agency owner and not doing it right. You know, there's a way to do the scaling right if you go from freelancer to agency owner. Too often we see those get themselves into that point where they are struggling.
Yeah. And another
Let's skip
thing.
that.
Yeah, let's skip that. Let's skip that. Another benefit of going this route is you will never ever, we would like to think that you would never be the bottleneck in your business, because we see this time and time again as well. Those that have gone from freelancer to agency owner, they are the bottleneck in their business when they are reluctant to let go of all their client work. Now, this was you, Jo, as well. You know this firsthand.
Yeah. Because I was holding on to the clients for way too long, I was never available for the team or the clients that I wasn't doing the direct work for, but the other clients and the team members, I wasn't available for them to answer their questions, to deal with things, to sort things out with them. And so I became this bottleneck where, like, they couldn't move forward. The business couldn't move forward. I was holding the business back completely because I wasn't freed up enough to be able to deal with things and take kind of responsibility for being the CEO and scaling the business, because I was so bogged down with the client work. Complete bottleneck.
You won't have that problem. You can avoid that entirely. I feel like another benefit is that your messaging is going to be really clear from the get-go. You are never going to have to convince a client to move on to another team member. You're never going to have to convince a client that you don't have to be the one doing the work, because it's just not on the table. It's not an option. You are going to have a team from the word go, and the team members are going to do the work.
Yeah. There's also, like, when you're a freelancer, there's a ceiling to how many clients you can bring on, your earning capacity, because it's going to be based around your own work hours and how many hours you're willing to put into doing client work, right? Because that's how you're getting the money in. Well, if you skip straight to agency owner, there's no ceiling on how many clients you can bring on other than, like, your own capacity to have the discovery calls and onboarding. It's going to be a lot easier to keep bringing in new clients and team members because you have all of the headspace and time within your working hours to actually focus on doing that. It's not going to be based on your own capacity because you're not going to be doing the client work.
Yeah.
Ceiling gets removed right from the beginning.
And all of these things that we've just mentioned under the benefits of going down this route, they all culminate in one thing. It means you can scale faster.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And what does scaling faster mean?
Yeah, it means that you can absolutely be making more money. It does start slower. So if you think about, like, if you were a freelancer, like, pretty much fully booked, and you wanted to start scaling, like, you would be being able to pay yourself more from the outset of that starting of scaling because you are still delivering the client work. If you're skipping straight to agency owner, there's going to be this period where you need to set up all the fundamentals. You need to have everything kind of set up and in place. And you're going to start to slowly bring on those team members and clients. But once you've kind of got that system working, you can scale so quickly but it's going to take time to build up to what you can pay yourself or have a substantial amount of money to pay yourself. Like that's going to take time. It's going to be a slower build in terms of you're paying yourself, but it's going to be a faster scaling in terms of the size of your business and bringing on the clients and the team members.
So basically short term, it may be slower, but long term, looking medium to long term, you're going to overall scale faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So what would a VA business owner, skipping straight to agency owner, what is their day going to look like in this role? They may not be doing the client work, but there is still a lot of work to be done. So let's talk about what your day might look like.
Yeah. Well, first, I really think you need to get into the mindset of like you are going to be the CEO. Like that will be your role. And inside your job description, there's going to be things like all of the sales, the marketing, the client account management, managing the finances, invoicing, accounts, the cash flow management, all of the admin, your systems and processes, the operations, strategy, thinking about what tools and how to do things better and automation and AI, how to incorporate that, capacity planning, client onboarding, team member recruitment, induction, and management. Like, that's a big role. So if anyone is thinking, oh, this is going to be so cruisy because everyone else is going to be doing all the work, well, actually, if you're going to have a successful business, all of those things are going to have to be covered. And to begin with, it's going to be down to you.
So the question on everyone's minds is, Jo, if you were to do things differently, would you be tempted to skip straight to agency owner?
Oh, 100%. 100%. If I started again, if you've listened to the how we'd start a VA business from scratch, if we did it today, in there, you'll notice that I wasn't delivering the client work. I would be skipping straight to agency owner for sure.
So what next? What next for somebody that has just listened to us talk about the pros and cons? They've gone, yeah, you know what? This sounds like a great route for me, and I've taken the quiz, and that's confirmed it. Agency owner all the way. What next steps?
Yeah, I think getting the fundamentals right is going to be the most key thing to do. And if that's you and you haven't started the business yet, absolutely look at launch in 30 days. This is the step-by-step playbook to setting your business up properly from the start and giving you that really amazing foundation to have a successful agency going forward. So check that out. We'll drop the link below. And if you haven't taken the quiz yet, absolutely take the quiz and see if you have the makings of an amazing agency owner. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Jo VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the mastermind and the amazing resources, courses, and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.